Rob and Slim Show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's
up?
going on, Ken?
Ken Carlson, actor, director, comic book creator, and more. How are you, dude?
I am well. How are you guys doing?
Good. And we're doing our last season, Ken. We decided this is it, bro. So it's been
well,
so.
Man, congratulations and lamentations all at the same time.
Yeah, we feel the same. It's been a long run, but we're just super happy we've gotten to connect with you over the years with so many different projects too. Like for Dead Drift was the first, and Penny Palabras and
Hellbound,
yeah, Slant 6, and there was at least one other, right? Roscoe that we talked about.
Yeah, Roscoe the Junkyard Cat, and then we did this thing called Enter the Mind Dungeon, which won Best Gamer Film at Gen Con.
I was going to ask how that's doing. That's like a Dungeons and Dragons documentary, right?
Yeah, it was. So it was like we shot it as like it was supposed to be a feature film. We wrote a script for a feature film, but then we put together a proof of concept, like a short film, to show to people to raise money, and that short film won Best Gamer Film at Gen Con this year. And we were actually getting ready to shoot the entire film 2020. Like February 2020, I was like booking venues for the summer. Shit. And then, there's this thing that happened.
Yeah, that thing. Did it pick up at all? Or I know this new thing of the thing is getting
like been
crazy.
So long, and everybody kind of not just went their own separate ways, but like people, lived their quarantine lives and whatnot. And it's basically, it's not going anywhere.
Now they're all content to be inside and not shaving, and they're like, I'm not coming outside again.
Pretty much.
Oh man. But Hellbound
it was a great project. It was fun to work on, and on to the next thing.
But Hellbound Slant 6, dude, you had two come out so far. The second was great. I know you sent me and Slim that one, and it had the Patrick Swayze in it.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, it was great. That whole bar scene though was great. I think Hitler was there, Elvis was there, John Wayne was there.
Yeah, that bar scene, man, that was one of my favorite things.
Super.
And it was actually you guys, I think Slim specifically, that suggested that Patrick Swayze should be in the bar and as a bouncer.
It was great.
A la Roadhouse. And then I added a page to put Patrick Swayze in the bar.
Didn't he hit on Danielle too, I think?
Yeah, he totally hits on her.
Yes. What are you going to say?
She totally fangirls about it too. She's like, oh my God, you guys, did Patrick fucking Swayze just hit on me?
And it was just so cool how you worked that in, because I remember you and I were talking, and you were like, yeah, I didn't want to make it like, Patrick Swayze died and ended up in hell. And so you made him this, like, he's just so powerful in heaven that he's able to do whatever he wants and he can hang out in hell. And I thought that was like really cool. It was a cool way to do that.
He's totally like a planeswalker, like security guard. He can just go wherever he wants.
Yeah, he's freelance. He's
and for him, that's his heaven, where he could just be like, I want to go bounce at a bar in hell. Like,
totally.
That's great.
Yeah, that's his paradise. He just gets to whoop ass in dive bars in hell.
But the story, man, it's so good. It goes back to, like, it explains how, was it Cain when he was sent to hell? God sent an angel to like retrieve him. Is that what it was?
Yeah. So kind of part of the story is that Danielle, the main character, is dragged into hell because she's got this artifact in her possession. And in the second issue, I kind of start to reveal some of the backstory of this artifact, and it turns out it is the Paleolithic hand axe that biblical Cain used to kill his brother Abel. And then the story goes that Adam, the first man, pleads with God to forgive his son Cain so that he can be reunited with him. And, God's like, yeah, all right, okay, cool, whatever, I'll forgive him. And he sends a messenger down there. But this other angel's watching, and he's like, well, if Cain's going to be forgiven, then maybe Lucifer could be forgiven. And fuck that guy, I hate him, he's a dick. So this angel goes first and convinces Cain to murder the messenger from God. And yeah, it's basically this axe takes on a bunch of magical powers, it eats souls, and Danielle ends up with it.
And Satan needs it.
Satan needs it. Shit.
Yeah, it's super good. Is this like all your own story? Like, it's just so good, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. No, it is. It is all Well, I mean, obviously Cain enabling God and all that's not original, but
Well,
I'm a huge fan of like taking like lore and mythos and putting your own spin on it.
That's why I didn't know if this was like another, like, because the Bible has so many stories and books. I didn't know if this was actually like anything in there. Like, it's just so good, man.
Dude, I really appreciate to hear that, man. And as far as I know, it's a pretty original twist. And I came up with the main idea, back when I was a teenager, and just kind of never did anything with it until just last year.
Do you feel like if you had done it when you originally, like, it might not have been as good as it is now? Like, do you feel that could have been the case?
No, absolutely not. I think that it's informed by 20 additional years of maturation and storytelling experience. So I think it's absolutely better now than it would have been if I had done it 20 years ago.
That's cool, man. And when is issue 3 coming out?
Issue 3, I'm actually going to launch the crowdfunding campaign for issue 3. I don't have a hard date, but it's going to be either toward the end of January or sometime in February.
Cool.
Because it's done and it's ready to go.
Oh, wow. That's awesome too. What can you tell us? Is there anything you can tell us without spoiling anything? What's coming in?
It's actually pretty difficult. So you guys read the second issue, so you know how it ended.
Yes.
On a pretty big cliffhanger.
So they were leaving.
Danielle meets this guy in hell.
They were leaving the bar. They were leaving the bar, right? And like barely escaped. And like
right.
This demon. Was it a demon that followed? Like it was her and Alistair.
The demon latched onto the car, and then the demon grabs the guy's gun, and then it ends with Danielle and the demon both pointing their guns at Ethan Dodge's head. And then there's 2 shots fired from the exterior of the car. You don't know what happens, and that's the end of issue 2. So yeah, it's hard to talk about issue 3 without spoilers.
Cool. Yeah, no, totally understandable. And
but the main character's alive, obviously, because there's going to be 2 more issues.
Well, yeah, I saw that too. Like, I did. You sent me a little sneak peek of 3, and I loved it. I checked it out, but then it said there's only 4 issues altogether, right?
Yeah, there's going to be 1 more issue, and I'm actually drawing that one, right now as I can.
Oh my God, I can't wait. It's so good, and I'm wondering how it's all going to wrap up in 1 issue.
Well, hopefully it wraps up in a satisfying way. I've had occasionally someone will be like, this feels contrived, and everything happens, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's contrived. They made it up. Come on.
Oh, it's so good, though. So you said you haven't started crowdfunding yet?
No, the crowdfunding campaign for the 3rd issue is going to launch probably toward the end of January, early February.
Okay. Cool.
So they got this thing on Kickstarter where if you go to the Kickstarter page, you can click this button that says "Notify me on launch," and so I'm just trying to build up a little more of a pre-following before I launch it.
Nice. I was gonna say, how long does it normally take to crowdfund? For that?
I've only done 2. The only 2 crowdfunding campaigns that I've ever done have been for the 1st and 2nd issues of Hellbound Slant 6, and then I did them both for 30 days each.
Okay. So like whatever happened in that time period, it was coming out? Yeah,
exactly. If I hit that goal, then that comic's going to come out. I'll send it to the printer. The comic's already done. And honestly, I wouldn't have been successful with either of those crowdfunding campaigns for this comic if it weren't for friends and family. So I feel totally honored and grateful to my friends and family for making it happen for me.
But
now I'm trying to expand the audience beyond friends and family.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's only so many times you can hit up those type of people.
That's it, man. I can't forever go to friends and family and be like, hey, I'm making another thing. Where's my money?
Has the first 2 issues, have they been received well? Have you gotten a lot of feedback on them?
I think so, and it's as you guys I'm sure know, getting feedback from people that are, consuming your thing that you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into can be sometimes a pain in the ass.
But it makes it worthwhile. But yeah, at the same time, it can be a pain in the ass.
Absolutely. Well, it's like a very small percentage of people that read something or watch something actually take the time to send feedback.
Well, usually it's only if they're pissed off or upset with something.
Yeah, no,
that's the only time you hear.
Being critical for some reason. Yeah.
People that are mad or don't like something are far more vocal than people that enjoyed it.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yup, because they're just enjoying the shit. And then they go on to enjoy some other shit, but not the other type.
No, hell no. If like I'm in a theater and I'm watching a movie, I'm like, this movie's ridiculous. I'm gonna go write an email about it. You know?
Yup. Want my money back.
Yeah, exactly. I want my $6 back. That just shows how old I am. I think a movie costs $6.
Oh, I wish. I wish.
What I was gonna say, Ken, is over the years, obviously, like Rob and I have received a lot of negative and positive feedback back and forth. There's one that sticks with me, and I don't think I ever solved it, and because it, kind of was like a direct critique of what I do, because I do like all the tech stuff. But there was one guy who I think he said he liked the show, but everybody's mic level was different, and I never quite figured out what that meant or how to fix it. And it's still one I always think about, like, man, what did that guy mean? Like, how do I even do that?
Right. No, I think I've had similar things. I don't remember them with specificity like that, but I remember like a comment on some video I made at some point, and one guy he criticized like a specific edit at like a certain time mark, and I was just like, what?
This guy's taking notes with time, minutes and seconds. Like, what the fuck? At least they paid that much attention.
Yeah, no, I mean that's good. But it's like, that's the thing that I find with movies. It doesn't matter what kind of entertainment it is. If it's music, if it's movies, it's comic books. If you are engaged, like if you're thoroughly absorbed in the world and enjoying yourself and enjoying what you're reading or consuming, you don't notice the flaws so much.
Yes.
If something breaks that immersion, then the flaws are all you can see.
Yeah. Agreed.
So I think the real goal for me is to keep people immersed.
Nice. Yeah, keep that momentum going. That's a good thing. That's a good way to see it as too. What
I want someone to be so entranced with the top of the table that is sanded to a mirror finish that they don't notice the saw marks on the side,
Yes. Yeah, that's like.
Sorry, that was a little carpentry humor there.
No, that was great. I just always hope nobody looks too deeply at Slim's garbage pile in the back of our room.
Well, to be fair, my garbage pile in the back of my room is always different every week. There's like different boxes.
A lot of bubble wrap.
Right now,
layer of bubble wrap.
Piles of bubble wrap back there, and some packs of Hero Clicks, and I don't know, unopened packs of Hero Clicks.
Well, a lot of nerd shit. A lot of nerd shit and bubble wrap. I think last week it was paper towels. Yeah,
because I ordered a case. I don't know if you're familiar with a game called Hero Clicks. It's a miniature collectible game. I ordered a case of Hero Clicks. A case is like, I think it's 10, 20 packs. I don't know, but it came in a very large box with bubble wrap in it. So the bubble wrap is from the box.
Yeah, that's what
They're very fragile figures.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, well, I got like one that's like a figure that's worth $100 is Deadpool on a surfboard. He's Cosmic Deadpool, so he's Deadpool, and he's got like the Silver Surfer powers, but he came broken, so I had to like super glue him on. But they're fragile.
I was gonna try to resell it on eBay.
You probably could. Yeah, he came broken, and he's like a Chase figure. Chase is like, you get like one in every case that you buy.
And he came bubble wrapped and broken.
Bubble wrapped and broken. Yep.
Oh man.
So I've never played Hero Clicks, but I do have like 3 Hero Clicks Wolverine figures, because Wolverine's like my favorite. But like, dude, so in the Hero Clicks, like the Chase one that you paid $100 for, Deadpool on a surfboard, which is awesome. Is he like more powerful because of like?
Yeah. So to be specific, I didn't specifically pay for him. I bought a case, which was, dare I say it, probably $230.
You bought the whole case.
I bought the whole case, and in that case, you get a random assortment of characters. They're like booster packs, like opening a pack of cards,
and
right?
Got the cool Chase
I pulled the cool Deadpool Chase, but he's good. I mean, me and my roommate have been playing Sealed. Sealed is where you each open 2 packs, and then you verse each other. And my roommate had pulled that Deadpool and just crushed whatever team I had. So
why don't you do an unboxing though? That shit would be cool for douchebags like you to see.
Probably, yeah.
No, but
the amount of money that I spend,
I've seen people throw videos out like that with like certain characters, and they open the whole case.
I play Magic the Gathering. Like, I never did Hero Clicks, but I've done Magic the Gathering forever, and we do like sealed booster drafts, and they're just so much fun.
Sealed is just the best way of play. Because constructed can be too much sometimes.
Field,
Yep, exactly. That's the thing where like any of these collectible games, a lot of times it becomes who invested the most money or who net decked or whatever, and then spent thousands of dollars to build this unbeatable deck or team or whatever.
Right, absolutely. Like I think Warhammer's that way. Like you have to have the miniatures in order to like have the army. So whoever's got the biggest budget has the best army.
Yeah.
Ken, I got a side request real quick along the lines of Slim's Patrick Swayze. Can you put Bob Saget in the 4th issue?
Oh man, I cannot make any promises, but I'll see what I can do.
All right, yeah, just maybe Screech and Bob Saget would be awesome to see in there.
Oh man.
Oh, like maybe they're on a set, like maybe there's like a side thing going on, and they're filming like their new project or something like that.
Interesting. I actually met Dustin Diamond in Seattle many years ago.
I heard he was a nice guy.
He was a cool guy. I mean, I don't want to talk shit about him because he's dead. But no, we hung out with him. So he played this club in Olympia where I live, and I had a sketch comedy TV show called Damn It, This Is Stupid that was on public access at the time. And we like to periodically, whenever there was like a celebrity in town, we'd go see them and point a camera at them and say, hey, can you say thanks for watching Damn It, This Is Stupid? So we had like Jennifer Lopez and Ginger Lynn, stars of that kind of caliber. And we heard Screech was coming to town to play this club. So we went and saw him and we said, hey, can you do it? And he said, I'm busy, but if you can come see me in Seattle tomorrow night, we will. So we went and saw him in Seattle the next night. And immediately after the show, he saw us and he's like, I will be with you guys in a few minutes. I got to go talk to these people. And he basically made the rounds and tried to talk to every woman in the bar before they closed the bar out. And then when he struck out with every woman in the bar, he came and hang out with us.
That's cool though. I was gonna say I was thinking maybe he'd be like, I'll be right with you, and then you never saw him again. He just like left after the back.
Right.
Oh my God.
No, he did. And then when he came to hang out with us and they closed the bar and they kicked us out of the bar and we stood in the parking lot, he didn't want to let us go. Like he kept talking and talking. It was me and I think like two or three other friends. And we ended up standing in the parking lot, smoking cigarettes and talking with him for hours. And he struck me as a very lonely man, and it kind of made me sad.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he's lonely anymore, though. He's got a lot of buddies wherever he is. Oh man! Right. And I was gonna say too, Ken. On a lighter note, I saw you wrote a script called Ninja Vampires from Mars. Is that correct?
Oh man, that is correct. How did you hear that?
I read it. I read it on I think your website.
Okay.
I kind of want to read it. I kind of want to read it or see it.
Ninja Vampires from Mars, man.
Oh man, I this has to come to fruition. I feel.
I would love to make Ninja Vampires from Mars. It's like
how'd they get there? How'd they get there, and how did they make it here? Like, well, that's sounds amazing. Sounds amazing.
So, I would love to make that movie. It's basically like a kung fu movie. But with like politics thrown in. So when I wrote it, I think, gosh, I want to say 2004, 2005. And the vampires all wear plastic George Bush masks. And so the president starts wearing a George Bush mask as well, and he's actually the head vampire. And it's pretty ridiculous. I think it was based on it was a parody of that movie Memento from Christopher Nolan. Like the main guy, he can't remember anything, so he writes himself emails so he can remember things, and he fights ninja vampires from Mars.
I don't think he did that, but not the guy in Memento.
Like I write everything down or I'll forget it, but I don't fight the ninjas. I don't fight ninjas or vampires. Like
they weren't in Christopher Nolan's film, but Ken, I want
to. It reveals the reason that he can't remember anything is because he slipped on a banana peel while he was working on his motorcycle and landed face down in a pile of gasoline-soaked rags.
Oh man, that is relatable. I feel like anybody could have that happen too. Were you gonna ask something, Slim?
Well, I was actually gonna give Ken a comic recommendation because like last week or something, you know how Google just like gives you like, here's an article you might want to check out. Well, there was an article for like a comic that Google was recommending to me, and I like read the article, and I'm like, this sounds really cool. So since then, I had read the entire comic. It started in 2019 and ended in just now, like in November. It was called Die. Are you familiar with that?
It's called Die, D-I-E?
Yes, D-I-E, Die.
I do not. I have not heard of it. No.
Okay, so I would highly recommend checking this out, Ken. It's a comic called Die. It's by Karen Gillian, I think the guy's name is. And what the concept is that there was in the like 80s, there was this Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. And so the writer of this comic was like, man, what would happen if those kids from that Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, like apparently that cartoon was supposed to end with those kids getting out of the Dungeons and Dragons game that they get sucked into. So he was like, man, what would happen if 20, 25 years later when those kids are adults, they go back to their D&D world that they were sucked into. So this is like a horror comic with these kids who get, when they're teenagers, like 16 or 17, they get sucked into this D&D campaign. It's not really like a D&D campaign, but it's like a role-playing game that their buddy creates, and they get sucked into that world, and it doesn't really show you what happens to them. It just shows you them getting sucked into it, and then them coming out 2 years later, and they can't talk about it for whatever reason. Like they're never, like there's some kind of spell on them where they can't speak of this like fantasy RPG world that they were sucked into, and then like 25 years later, they go back to it. So it has like kind of tones of like Stephen King's It mixed with like the ideal of that Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. And this is just a very well written, cool comic, especially if you're a fan of tabletop RPG games.
Yeah, no, that actually sounds incredibly fascinating. And I'm just looking at the website now. It also reminds me of not just Stephen King, but I want to say it's called Thomas Covenant. I read, based on the recommendations of a coworker, the first 2 books in the series, and I hated them. But apparently a lot of people love them. But the main character is just a complete and total douchebag. Sorry. But he goes very similar because he disappears into this fantasy world for a while and crazy shit goes down. I will absolutely...
I think the one you're talking about, is it The Magician or Magicians? No, maybe not.
No, I think it's called Thomas Covenant.
Okay.
Let me do some...
Yeah, because that kind of, what you just described sounded, there was a novel called The Magicians that became like a sci-fi TV show, but the main character in that was like a real douchebag, and he gets like sucked into a fantasy world.
How many issues was that, though? You said you read it in like a couple weeks?
Die was it like 4 volumes? So it's 20 issues. It was 20 issues. Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Still a lot, though, I feel like. I don't know.
Yeah, you can go
Maybe
through
not.
issues, comic issues you go through quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this one is called, so the first book is called Lord Foul's Bane.
Oh,
and
okay.
It is the Chronicles of Thomas Covenant. And the guy's like, he's got leprosy, and he ends up in this fantasy world, and like one of the first things he does is he rapes the first woman that he meets. And it's like, I just couldn't, I don't know, I couldn't get into it. I didn't like the character. And my buddy's like, no, keep reading. It gets good. And I'm like, and I never really thought it got good. Maybe it just missed me. Some people love it.
So Die is a little dark, but not that dark. Die is more about the main characters like kind of finding themselves. And there's not just one character. There's like a group because they're a party that, had this RPG game. And there's some things that the main character does where you're like, he's kind of fucked up, but then, his friends are kind of cool and back and forth like that. But nothing,
right.
There's no like raping anyone or them doing anything like that.
Right. And the thing is, like, I don't mind dark. Like, dark's good. I like exploring those dark places in fantasy and whatnot. But I think the issue I had with Thomas Covenant is I didn't feel like it went anywhere.
Yeah. Well,
Die looks cool.
Yeah, Die, I can inform you, it has a conclusion. They just ended it in November, and it's just a great story from beginning to end, and everything that the book has to say, I think, are just very great themes in that. So,
Ken, we have to wrap this up, dude.
Cool. Yeah, no, I am looking forward to checking that out.
Ken, we have to wrap it up, dude. But it's been a blast as always talking to you, man.
Dude, you guys, thank you so much for reaching out and having me on the show. I appreciate it all these times.
No problem.
I'll miss talking to you guys, man. You guys are great.
Same. And we'll pop up here and there. So yeah, we'll definitely talk. I mean, we're still fucking friends and shit, dude. Fucking best friends forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But where can everybody find you, Ken?
BFFs for life, dog.
Yeah, we need lockets. We need lockets and chains.
That's it. Hell yeah.
Where can everybody find you, Ken?
If you go to my website, Kenzo FKC, Kenzo, Foxtrot Kilo Charlie FKC, KenzoFKC.com.
Awesome,
my
man.
website.
Awesome, dude. Take care, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Absolutely. You guys take care too, man.